Medical data reveals a startling trend. The absolute peak time for a first heart attack occurs on Monday morning, right between 8 and 9 a.m. This spike has very little to do with diet or generic stress. It's driven by the fact that 85% of people are waking up to go to jobs they actively despise. They are quite literally dying to go to work. Staying in an unfulfilling life erodes your self-esteem and creates a persistent inner turmoil. You know you were made for more, and that realization creates a deep sense of emptiness as Sunday evening winds down. We stay stuck because of an invisible obstacle: fear. The fear of failure, the fear of change, and the fear of the unknown. It acts as a paralyzing disease. It forces you to keep your blinders on, quietly convincing you that your current miserable reality is all you will ever deserve. If fear is the condition keeping so many of us locked in lives we've outgrown, how do we actually cure it? Curing it requires a shift in how you view the world. Reality isn't a passive event that just happens to you. It's an active process, a continuous cycle that you are building moment by moment. To overcome the paralysis of fear, we first have to map out the exact architecture of this invisible loop. The cycle begins with your perception, what you currently believe to be true. Whatever you perceive immediately dictates a specific internal response, a feeling. Those physical feelings are the engine that drives your behavior, the actual actions you take in the real world. Your actions yield an experience that ultimately validates your original perception, locking you into a self-fulfilling loop. If your starting perception is rooted in lack, if you tell yourself, "I don't have enough money," you will feel that lack. That anxiety leads to defensive, desperate behavior that only results in an experience of more lack. This feedback loop is the true architect of our reality. We aren't being held down by bad luck. We are trapped by our own continuous mental cycle. There is a biological paradox to this stagnation. Every single year, your habits and physical reality remain identical because your mental blueprint hasn't changed. To change the body, you have to rewrite the blueprint. Shifting that blueprint from a state of lack to a state of having requires you to consciously interrupt the feedback loop at the source. This begins with guarding the mind, cutting off the constant fire hose of negative news, and using positive self-talk to speak about your goals as if they are already achieved. If generating that feeling of success for yourself feels too difficult, use an empathy hack. Imagine a loved one achieving your goal and allow yourself to feel genuine, pure excitement for them. As you change these habits, you will face the resistance of fear. But as Zig Ziglar pointed out, fear is an illusion, simply false evidence appearing real. You must eventually face the dog. There's a story of a boy who ran from a neighborhood dog every day until he finally picked up a brick and turned around. As the animal got closer, he realized it had no teeth. To break your deepest habits, you must recognize that your internal dread is often an illusion, with no actual power to hurt you. Deep struggle functions as a purposeful process, often described as a dark night of the soul, a message sent from a higher self, indicating you've been chosen for a different path. Hidden inside your most painful fears is a treasure, the specific chance to begin again, guided by a truer part of yourself. From that Monday morning dread to your deepest struggles, your life is sending you a message. You are the architect of your blueprint, and the only question is whether you are willing to listen.